Hey guys, we made it to part 10. It's time to get a little noisy today. Now today, I've got a 52-inch, 300-watt curved light bar. Got those special 4D fisheye lenses in it. And this is just like the 50-inch light bar that I just did. So you can go ahead and check out the review on the 50-incher if you want to see how bright this thing is. Just imagine it 4 LEDs brighter. But like I said in all my other videos, we're not here to talk about the brightness of these things. We're here to see how tough they are. Now part 10 is going to be dedicated to you Walking Dead fans out there. So what we have here is a 52-inch zombie light bar. And as you know, the only way to take out a zombie is with a headshot. So we're going to go ahead and poke some holes in this thing and see if we can take it down or not. See if this zombie can survive a few rounds right in the old cranium here. But seriously, what we're going to do is I want to put some holes in it in different spots. And we're going to find out if this thing's like a Christmas tree. You know, one bulb goes out, do they all go out? We pretty much already know that's not going to happen, but let's just see how much we can do to it and still have some light, you know. So I figured we'd start out shooting it with an AR-15, maybe a shotgun, maybe 9mm, who knows, and we'll just see if we can kill this thing. So let's head out to the range and start putting holes in this thing. Alright, the part we've all been waiting for, the senseless destruction portion of the video. We've got our zombie 52-inch light bar here up on the old backstop. Got a fuse wired into there just in case it shorts out when we're shooting at it. Alright, well fortunately we have just the thing for zombie light bar. Got the old 12 gauge, AR-15, and a Glock 19, 9mm. That ought to take care of any zombie light bars we come across. Alright, we'll start out with the AR-15. Shoots a 223 round. See, it's a pretty small bullet, but it's traveling really fast. I got a feeling this might just punch right through that light bar, poke a couple holes in it. Guess we'll find out. Then we'll move on to the 9mm. See, it's a little bigger around, bigger diameter, but traveling a little slower, so I'm actually a little concerned that this one might stop inside and short out the circuits in there and blow my fuse. That's why I put the fuse in there, just so I wouldn't burn up my jump pack if that happens. We'll see what happens. And then, of course, got the old 12 gauge to finish her off. Gonna use some buckshot on that, see what happens. And yep, you guessed it, I even got LEDs on my shotgun. Alright, let's see what happens. Alright, before we take out our zombie light bar, I'm gonna have to go ahead and slip into something a little more uncomfortable. Alright, that's better. Let's take out a light bar. Alright, let's give it a try. Alright, we got a couple holes in it down here. You can see that one is a little high. These two are actually a little high too, but got one right through. And you can see, like I thought, those things rip right through and out the back side. And you can see it got a little dark down on this end. Those two are just barely glowing. These two are out. All these up here are out. These 4 down here are still working. But the rest of the light bar is just fine. So hey, I guess if you get some damage to one end of your light bar, the rest of it's still going to work to get you home. Let's move on and see what the 9mm does. Alright, it looks like hitting high is the theme of mine today. You can see that guy a little high. We got one right there, right in the middle. And you can see that jacket from that bullet right there in the board. And just like I thought it might, looks like it shorted out this whole end of the light bar. But we still got half a light bar left, still working fine. So I guess if you come under attack from an AR-15 and a 9mm, you still might have a little light to get you home. Let's see what the shotgun does. Alright, let's move on to the 12 gauge. Let's see what happened. Now that's actually pretty cool. I actually expected to see this lens all full of holes, but if you look at it, there's just a whole lot of little dimples in there, and it's actually shoved the whole outer lens way back into the light bar, and it broke all the inner lenses, but it doesn't look like those things even made it through the outer lens. And look at that, it even still works in that section of the light bar. See the section a little beyond where I was shooting, still working? And then this gnawed up section here from the 12 gauge. Looks like just about all those LEDs are still working. I see that one's out. Most of them are still working in there. There's another one out, another one. And the whole bottom end down here, still working fine. So, at least now we know. You get some major damage to one end of the light bar, it's still gonna have enough light to get you home. Well, since that light bar is still glowing, and I still got a few rounds left in the AR, I think we'll try and put a couple more holes in it just for the fun of it. Whoops. Alright, I took my earplugs out because I thought I was all done. Turns out that's pretty loud without the earplugs in, so I got them back in. We'll go ahead and finish her off now that I don't blow my eardrums out. Now there's something pretty cool. You see now all the LEDs went out. As I was walking over to this thing, half of them came back on. A little bit of smoke coming out of there though. I don't know if you can see the smoke rolling around in the lens. And somehow they managed to come back on. Some of them. That's pretty crazy. Alright, let's take a look at the damage here now that we can see with the light bar turned off. You can see I was a little better this time about not aiming so high. Got there and there. Another one right there. Another one there. Got a hole right there. Right there. That one right there almost went right through the LED. That's pretty cool. Got one there and there. Another one right there almost blew right through the LED too. That's pretty cool. And got another one there. One right down towards the end. And as you can see, those things were ripping right through the back side of this thing. Kind of tore it up pretty good. But I had to go ahead and finish it off for you guys that are into that bloodthirsty kind of stuff and you just want to see destruction.
I can't believe that thing came back on though. That's just pretty cool. You seen on the video, they were almost all out, and then half the lights came back on again. Let's see what they do now. Look at that. Huh. Got one little cell right here, still working just fine. But hit or miss every once in a while. We got some bulbs at work, but now if you come under that much fire, I'm not sure you're gonna have enough light to get you home this time, but hey, we had to do it because it's cool, right? Check it out, now we got a strobe light. I think that's Morse code for hold your fire, I surrender. Alright, so what did we learn here today? Well, these light bars are pretty tough, but unfortunately they're not bulletproof. So the other thing we learned is it's a lot of fun to shoot things with guns, but I'll guarantee you it's going to void your warranty. Look at that. My AR-15 just ripped holes right through that thing. Man, sure am glad I didn't pay for this light bar, huh? But all in all, I guess we still learned that you can take a lot of damage in one end of the light bar and the rest of it's still going to work, or, you know, big blast in the center and the other two ends are still going to work. So I guess we learned something from it other than just having a little bit of fun. So I think we're going to go ahead and retire this one, and we'll move on to the next victim.